Yeah, 100%. So, and I remember him saying, I just don't like your friend Wendy. And I said, well, tell me why. Tell me why you don't like her. You haven't been around her really. And I said, you need to get to know her because she's my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I don't think I want to. And I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense. You should.
You should want to if you're with me.
To.
Right.
Right. Because you're with me. You should want to get to know her. And then, something was happening either with me getting the job or, starting work or whatever happened. There was a significant amount of time, like maybe a month or whatever, that we didn't get to see each other.
Right.
And so during that time, he was just picking. And then we started getting serious.
Mm-hmm.
He and I started getting serious. And so then that's how it progressed to, well, why, your friend's single as a a woman with a significant other, we're living, because what,
you don't need single friends.
You know how that happens is, you're single and then you're dating and then one day they come to your house and then they never leave. So they move in and then they never leave, and
it just jumps into serious.
And that's exactly how he and I's relationship progressed. And I'm not saying that it was right. I mean, we got a 10-year marriage out of it,
mm-hmm.
but I can admit that there was definite wrongdoings and definite flags that I had that I should have listened
that
to.
You chose to avoid.
That I chose to avoid.
Mm-hmm.
That I chose to ignore.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing so, I hurt people. I hurt you, specifically. And I'm very sorry for that. I'm really sorry for that.
I'll say this to everyone listening, just like I said it to you when you messaged me, because I'll be honest, when I saw your memory of your girls trip with Alexis, I was like, has it been that long already? Has it been a year already? Because I remember when you reached out and we actually started talking real briefly, you were getting ready to go
mm-hmm.
on this girls trip.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my goodness, it's already been a year. So that pulled me up, and I pulled up our messages from way back then, and I read them. And I read, you reaching out to me, and I read what I said to you, and I was pretty defensive at first. I was
of course.
Oh, really? Because I thought you
mm-hmm.
felt that, and
you had every right to be. You had every right to be.
So, but the thing I'm so grateful that you searched to find me, and I'm so grateful for social media and how we put ourselves out there to an extent, because there's really no excuse for not being able to find someone right now.
Yeah.
Everybody's so out there for the whole world to see.
Yeah.
So I'm so grateful because when I think back, sure that hurt, I'm not gonna lie. At the same time, there was no major betrayal.
Right.
Between us.
No.
There was nothing that was friendship ending.
Yeah.
That happened. Yet and like I said, I will admit, I tried to find you once or twice years later, had no idea what your last name was, didn't know any of your friends, and I can imagine, because even now, your social media circle is pretty small.
Uh-huh.
Except for your VIP group, because now you sell Color Street nails, and they're amazing, so check us out, okay? You'll see mine here in a little bit, but anyway, you keep that group very small.
Yeah.
So we didn't have many mutual friends.
No.
Right?
No, so, I'm not friends with, I'm barely, just in the past maybe 2 or 3 years, I've got a small select few high school friends on my social media. And that's pretty much it.
But so there would have been no way for me to find you.
Right.
So, I probably could have tried harder. I probably could have tried a few years later. But after the first couple of years, and I was like, I was thinking about you, and I can't remember what was going on in my life at the time, but I remember missing you, and I remember thinking about you, and I remember thinking of all the times that I would be going to Greensboro, or you would be coming up here, or you had a situation and you were calling, whatever it was. And I felt like I missed that support of a friend that I never, truly, never, ever had to question, why is she saying this to me?
Yeah.
Why does she feel this way?
Mm.
I knew that you was 110% real with me all the time. Mm-hmm. And I felt completely free and comfortable to be 110% real with you.
Yeah.
And
That's just the type of friendship that we had. Like, we just had to check each other.
yeah, this might hurt your feelings, but you know
But you
what?
need to hear it.
You messing up.
Yeah. You messing up.
Or what's going on?
Yeah.
Or, you know.
Like, you ain't acting right. What is it?
So whatever
Something's
it was,
going on.
I felt like I was missing that support, and I had tried to find you. But honestly, I think I'd only looked for you maybe twice in all those years.
Yeah.
And then I had just gotten to a point where I had accepted, okay, like I'll probably never talk to her again, and moved on. So, but at what point did you start thinking, I wonder what she's doing? Like what brought me to your mind?
I don't
how
know.
did that-
I don't know that there was anything in particular that, like, I can't think of a thing, like one particular thing that I was like, oh my God, like I have to reach out to Wendy. But that's, you know, I'm the master cutoff person. I always have.
Just end it.
Just
Done.
end it and done. That was my history. That's been my life. I mean, gosh, I'm 39. I'm almost 39 years old, and I can still to this day cut someone out without thinking.
Close the door and move on.
Yeah, just because that's one of those self-defense mechanisms that I have to
Survive.
So
Yeah.
basically because of, I mean, I did it to my biological mother in 2012. I did it to my dad.
You know, your biological mother.
Right. She deserved it.
There's a story there, okay? But we don't have time to get into all of that.
But that's my history, and you know, because you know my history, and that was it. So that's what I do. I cut people off, and I'm done, and I move on, and I just shut that part down. And so but I can't think of anything in particular that sparked it. I've always been a Facebook stalker, so I may not friend people, but I search and I find people on Facebook, and I'll look and see, is your profile public, and yours was
what
not.
Can I find?
Yeah, and yours was not public.
That must have been a while ago.
It was.
It's been public for probably since
it was.
Yeah.
It was when you were Wendy Saluzzo Boyd.
Ah.
So I had looked a couple times, but I wasn't. Honestly, I was like, she's
Wasn't
never
ready?
going to forgive me. No matter what I say is unforgivable.
So you felt that at that point. You already
Yeah.
felt that kind of that guilt and thinking,
Yes.
there's no way that she could.
Yes, because
Did it never cross your mind that maybe I missed you too?
well, but no, because
But wait, but what?
no, because honestly, I was like, who says I don't want to be friends with you and sends a f***ing email? Who says that? Who does that? What kind of coward are you that you can't have a grown-up conversation
And sort it out.
and sort it out? Because at the time,
At the time, that was easier for you to shut the door, because I feel like at the time, had you called me or had you come to see me to say, listen, Wendy, I'm in this new relationship. I have to do what I have to do for my, I feel like I'd have talked you out of it.
yeah.
Honestly, I feel like
100%.
I'd have brought up
And
some
in
valid
addition
points and
to
maybe
that-
some invalid points, but I feel like I'd have talked you out of it.
And in addition to that, then I would have felt torn in the middle of, well, my best friend makes these points, and she's been my best friend for a long time. So how can I do this? Versus, well, but he says he loves me, and we're going to get married, and now we're pregnant. Because we got pregnant very fast.
Now, didn't you tell me, sidebar, that you guys were heavy in the church for a short period of time?
For a short period of time.
And then you got pregnant.
And then we got
And
pregnant,
weren't
but we were
married
not
yet.
married. We
Weren't
were not
married
married.
yet.
We were engaged, but we got pregnant mistakenly.
Surprise.
Yeah,
Emily.
surprise, not mistakenly, because children aren't mistakes, but we got pregnant very fast. We were having a lot of fun after nursing school, and we got pregnant, and then we got engaged, and then Mark was very into the church, and I'm going to be honest, I never really was, but it
I
was
remember you telling me
important
you tried
to
to be.
him. It was very important to him. But I had always had my reservations because even when I was little, I was really involved in the church because my parents kind of wanted to get rid of me, and so they sent me to church. But I was very involved in the church when I was young. But then kind of got away from it, whatever. And then, but yeah, so we were very involved in the church until I started showing.
Because I remember you sharing a little bit of that about that, and if you guys haven't been listening, you know what? Take a peek at episode 3. It's my son's story and about what happened when him and his girlfriend got pregnant, and he was 17. So we were able to, I guess, share a little bit of that. Although I was on a mother's side and it was happening to you, that kind of a stereotypical and judgmental portion of the church was seen. And that's a sad thing to see, because the church shouldn't be like that. But it is in too many situations.
It is.
So yeah. So here you go, and you're thinking, okay, she's never gonna forgive me.
Yeah.
Who sends an email? What happened? So
I wouldn't forgive me.
How many
Let's be
times?
honest.
How many times did you consider reaching out till you actually did?
Oh, dozens. And I was like, because I'm like, I wouldn't forgive me. Who does that?
But it didn't take me long to respond to you.
No, it didn't. And I was very surprised. I was very surprised by that because I was like, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't even have been mad because I was fully expecting why are you reaching out to me? Are you crazy? Like, I will never talk to you again. And this is ridiculous for you to even think that. And I don't remember the message that I sent to you initially, but I remember thinking I have to approach this in I'm so sorry. I understand if you don't ever want to talk to me, and please don't feel obligated to. I remember, you have to approach it like that, because if you go at it any other way, she's going to be like, biatch, nah.
You know me so well.
Right?
But so tell me this. You had recently, before you reached out to me, you had probably recently gotten into a relationship, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you feel like that gave you the confidence to say, let me try this? Or did you want to share that news with me? Like, I guess I'm just trying to figure out.
I just feel like when I met Donald, let me go back. So I divorced this particular person. We separated in September of 2017. And I took that year because during the course of that relationship, I felt like I had really kind of lost myself and I had been through some things. Mm-hmm. And I really didn't know who I was or what made me happy anymore. And so I thought before I just need to take time and get back to who is Melanie? What do I want out of my life? What are the things that make me happy besides my kids? Because of course your kids
you
always
love your
make
kids.
you happy.
They're your
I love
joy,
them,
right?
and it was just about reconnecting with myself.
Okay, say that again for all the people in the way back. When you get out of a relationship of a long time,
yeah,
take some time and heal yourself.
100%. And I knew 100% that I had to. I mean, I was with this person for 11 years.